Hello Seekers, and thank you for joining me for part 3 of this early look at the upcoming science fantasy RPG Ruthless Heavens, Boundless Fate. Where we left off in part 2, we had finished exploring hex number 7. In hex 7 we climbed a tall tower, and in that tower we found a brittle scroll. Arit was not able to decipher that scroll, but he does have the scroll in his possession, and possibly in the future he can get someone to decipher that for him. I was also finally able to get some magenta ink for my printer, and I could print off a new token for art here. You can see the old one, it's not the right colors, so there, he's got the right colors now. And there's a few other tokens that I have that are going to be with the wrong colors, but some of them I was able to recently print off as well. So just a quick note on that, and we will continue on. And one thing that came up in my first gameplay session was that I wasn't keeping track of the hexes that I was in, and I was sort of jumping to hexes without backtracking or traveling in the logical order. So I'm going to try to keep better track of the hexes that I've been through. You can see that the ones circled in red are hexes that I have already completed, and I will be trying to put a marker on what hex I'm actually in. So now we're about to enter hex number 8, so I'm just going to put a little check there indicating that that's the hex that we're in. So Arit has taken a little rest, and he's now ready to move into hex number 8. So hex number 8, what do we have in this hex? Water seems to have pooled here over the centuries, creating a stagnant swamp filled with fetid water and strange bubbling mud pots. The stench is overpowering, forcing you to make a standard fortitude saving throw or vomit, suffering d4 hit points of damage. On top of that, the bog is home to swarms of poisonous insects that constantly harass you. So let's make a fortitude saving throw here. And once again, we'll want to hit that target number of 13, and Arit does have a +1 bonus to fortitude saving throws. So that is only going to be a 6 with our bonus. So we will now take d4 hit points of damage due to the vomiting. 3, so Arit will take 3 points of damage here. Okay, so Arit has 14 hit points now out of 17. And so, as it said, that on top of that, the bog is home to swarms of poisonous insects that constantly harass you. So it looks like we will not be able to avoid a combat here. We will, in fact, be forced into a confrontation with this insect swarm. So let's begin our first combat here in the forest, in the Crimson Hoof Forest. So we'll start the combatants just maybe one square away from the edge here. And the first thing that we should do is to roll for initiative. So each party here will roll for initiative. And Arit has rolled a 15, which he also has a +5 bonus due to his dexterity, so that gives him an initiative roll of 20. And the swarm has rolled a 13. I believe that they also have a +5 dex bonus, and so they're going to have a roll of 15, or sorry, they're going to have a roll of 18. So in this case, Arit would actually be the winner. So Arit will attack first. And what we want to do here, we can look at our skills that we have. So I think what we would like to do here, if we do a standard action, we can attack once, and if we do the quickfire, we can attack a second time using our free action. And with the range of the bow being 190 meters, we do not need to move, and we can hit the target from where we are right now. And with the quickfire, we also have a +2 damage. So this gives us 2 chances to hit our target and to deal damage, and also we can get a +2 bonus with our quickfire when we use that. So let's look at the defense of the insect swarm. They have the defense rating of 12. So Alright will need to roll a 12 or higher, or a roll with a modifier to beat 12 or higher. So let's see what Alright can do. He's first going to do his standard attack. And he has rolled a 6. And with his +5 bonus, that's going to be 11. So that is not going to hit the target. So Art's first shot has missed the angry swarm. Probably they are pretty hard to hit because they are small and they are flying fast. So Art will attack again, this time with the quickfire. And this time he has rolled an 11, which is going to be a roll of a 16 with the bonus. So this will be a hit, and whatever our damage roll is, there will also be +2 due to the quickfire bonus, as well as there is a plus dex because we are attacking with a dex weapon, and once again Art's dex bonus is +5, so we're going to have a +7 bonus to whatever our damage roll is. And with the living longbow, we actually need to roll a d8. So Alright will now roll a d8 with the living longbow here. So we have got a 1, but we also have a total of +7 bonus damage. Now the insect swarm, there are 1 of them per character, so we just have 1 character, so there is 1, and they have the HP of 5. So our hit of 7 is going to be enough to kill this insect swarm. So all in all, they were simply a small nuisance for Art, not a big deal. So now that the insect swarm has been defeated, Art will be able to add 50 essence. So he now has a total of 300 essence, and I believe that when he gets to 400 essence, he will reach level 4. So he is well on his way. That the insect swarm is defeated, we can harvest these insects. Now these are a medium-sized creature, and so they are also a beast, so they will use the rules for beast and for medium when harvesting. Now a medium creature takes I believe 30 minutes to harvest, and they will offer 2 components, and then because they are a beast, there is a beast table that will explain what components they will receive. But in order for Aura to successfully harvest them, he needs to make a dex check first. So he has rolled a 2, and even with the bonus of 5, that's unfortunately not going to be enough. So Aura will not be able to harvest anything from the insect swarm. So we can just get rid of them now, and Aura will continue making his way through the forest. And Hex 8 has now been completed, and we're going to move on into Hex number 9. So I'll put a little X there to indicate that that's where we are. And Alright will have a short rest, and he also needs to have a meditation. Otherwise he'll not be able to retain the essence that he earned. Great, so he rolled an 18. He also has a +1 spirit bonus, so his roll is a 19. And so he will successfully maintain that essence that he earned from defeating the insect swarm. So he will not lose any of his experience. Okay, so Arid is now moving into Hex 9. Let's see what do we have in Hex 9. So Hex 9 says that there is a weathered stone cairn standing on a small clearing in the forest. So we can see this stone cairn here. Runes etched on the stones are faded but discernible with a successful standard intelligence check. Okay, so let's go ahead and make an intelligence check to see if we can decipher these runes. And we have rolled an 18. So Arid has no trouble deciphering the runes. And it reveals the fact that there is a hidden burial chamber beneath the cairn, and it requires a hard strength check to move the heavy stones blocking the entrance. Okay, so a hard strength check. Now, a hard check is going to add +2 to the target number. So our target number is 13. We're going to need to have a target number of 15 to pass this check. And Art has rolled an 18. That's great. And he also does have a modifier of +1, so it would be a 19 in this case. So Art is able to successfully move the stone. And within this ancient chamber, there is a warrior resting, surrounded by some of his earthly possessions. Unfortunately, disturbing the last resting place wakes them, and they issue a challenge. Defeat me in combat, and my possessions are yours. So we now have to face this ancient warrior who is an undead elite. So let's set the battlefield here. Alright, so Arit is here in this ancient chamber. He has successfully rolled away the stone, and he's now going to face this ancient warrior who is an undead elite, and he has hit points 45. So I'm going to set 45 hit points on the counter here, and we'll use that to track the hit points of the warrior. Now, if this fight is anything like the fight with the blacksmith in the first trial, this is going to be a pretty difficult fight, and it's certainly not guaranteed that Arit will survive. So first thing we need to do is roll for initiative. So Arit has rolled a 16, and the warrior has rolled a 15, and he has a dex bonus of 1, so his roll would be a 16, and Arit's roll would actually be a 21 with his bonus, so Arit will go first. I believe the best thing for Arit to do would probably be to attack twice, because that is going to give us 2 chances to break through the defense of the warrior, and his defense rating is 18, so it's not easy to hit him. He's very well defended. So the first thing we'll do is start off with the standard attack. And a 3, that's not going to be good enough. And a 4, that's not going to be good enough. So unfortunately not a great start for Arit there. Now the warrior, thankfully his speed is somewhat low. He's only able to move 10 meters per turn. So we're going to move him 3, 6, 9, and 10 meters. And hopefully I'm calculating that correctly. So now what Arit would like to do, well, first we'll check our initiative, and we'll see who is going to go first this round. So that's going to be an initiative roll of 12 for the warrior, and that will be a roll of 15 for Arit. So Arit will once again go first. And now Arit, with his dex of 20, he can move up to 20 meters. And in this case, I think that we will just have him move a little bit further away. So he is going to go ahead and move 6 meters, and he is now down in the corner, trying to keep his distance from the warrior, because a melee battle with this warrior would be certain death for Arit. Alright, now Arit will roll for his standard bow attack. And he has rolled a 20. That's great. So he has rolled a natural 20, which is going to be a critical hit. So that's a very good stroke of luck for Arit there. One very cool thing in Ruthless Heavens, Boundless Fate is that pretty much just about every damage type, in this case it's piercing, has its own critical hit table with special actions and results from those kinds of attacks. So we're going to look up what the critical hit table is for piercing damage. Okay, now on the critical hit table, Arit will need to roll a d12 to determine what type of critical hit he will have. So he has rolled a 4. So in the case of a 4, it's a arrow to the leg, and so the target is now been hindered. So this is a very fortunate event for Arit, because now that the ancient warrior is hindered, he is going to move at half speed, so he will only be able to move at a speed of 5 per round. So once again, a very good stroke of luck for Art there. Now Art still has his quickfire ability, so he can also do that as well. And we do still need to roll for damage, which in this case is going to be doubled due to the critical hit. So Art will roll a 2d8. So that's a 5 and a 4. And I believe that we can also apply the dex bonus to each roll. So that's going to be a total of 19 damage to the Ancient Warrior. So he has now been reduced to 26 hit points. So a very, very good turn there for Art. And now the Ancient Warrior will take his turn. Now he's only going to be able to move a total of 5 meters. So a total of 5 meters, that's going to be about, roughly about here for 5 meters. So Art still has a safe distance away from him. So I think Art will stay here for this turn, and he will go ahead and try to finish off the warrior, or at least make another good attack. But we do need to roll initiative once again. And so the warrior has rolled a 2, which is going to be 3 with his bonus, and Art has rolled a 4, which is going to be 9 with his bonus. So Art once again will attack first. I believe we'll go with the same strategy here. We'll try to attack twice. That's going to give us more chances to break through this defense rating of 18. So a 10 and 15 with the bonus, that's not going to be enough. And a 9, that's also not going to be enough. Now the warrior will be able to move, I believe, to about right here. We will need to roll for initiative once again. And so 14 versus 4, so this time the warrior has won the initiative. And now he's going to get a chance possibly to attack Art here. So he's going to be about right here. And I'm not using diagonal movement. I don't know if most people would play with diagonal movement, but I'm not using it just because there is distortion with diagonal movement. So I'm trying to keep things just moving directly forward and backwards. So I believe that he would be a little bit out of range here because there is a gap of about maybe a meter away, but I'm not really sure what to say, so we'll just go ahead and say that the warrior does actually get to attack here. And let's see the attack of the warrior. So he has actually 2 attacks. He has the Spectral Blade and the Deathly Grasp. So let's roll for his Spectral Blade attack. And he has rolled a 16. And he also gets a +7 bonus, so he's going to be well over what he needs to hit Art, because Art has a defense rating of 17, so he will be well over the 17 defense rating of Art. And so now he's going to do a D8 attack plus his strength bonus. So let's roll a D8 for the warrior's Spectral Blade. And that's going to be a 6, and with his strength bonus, that's going to be 9. So Art is going to take 9 points here. One thing that I should have done when Art was camping was that he can roll a D8 for healing. So let me go ahead and correct that now. So when Art camped before entering this square, this hex, he should have rolled a D8 for camping. So that's going to be a 4. So that would bring him back to 17. But he is now going to take the 9 damage. Okay, now as a bonus action, the warrior can use the Deathly Grasp. So he can attempt to grapple the target and restrain them. And if he is successful, the target takes D6 necrotic damage at the start of each of its turns while grappled. I'm not sure what kind of a check this is. I'm guessing this is going to be a strength check. So let's roll for a strength check here for the warrior. So a 17, and he has +3, so he will beat Art's defense. So now Art is restrained. At the start of Art's next turn, he's going to take D6 necrotic damage. Okay, so now because Art is restrained, he is not able to move, and if he wants to break free from this at the start of his turn, he can use a free action to make a strength check, and that would allow him to break out if he is able to be successful in the check. But if he uses a standard action, and if he uses a standard action instead of a free action, the standard action will allow him to modify that with a -2, which would make the target number 11. So it makes it easier if you use a standard action. That is what Art will do on his turn, but we need to roll for initiative. Okay, and Art has got an 18, and there's a 2 for the warrior, so Art will go first here. And now we're going to use our standard action to make a strength check. So a 3 with the bonus, that's 5, that's not going to be good enough. And now we'll use our free action. And that is a 10, and he has a strength bonus of 1, so 11, that's not going to be good enough there. Art does have a dagger that he could attack with, but we have already used all of our free and standard actions, so there's nothing else he can do. And the warrior is now going to have his turn and also get to attack. So let's roll for the warrior's spectral blade. And he has rolled a 3, so in this case he is not able to hit. Now he does have +10 bonus with his 2 hit and his strength, so a 13, but Art has a defense rating of 17, so he will not hit this time. We already have the Deathly Grasp, so he will not do that again. But now Art is going to take the D6 necrotic damage. And that's going to be 2. So he is now down to 6. So things are not looking good for Art here. He needs to break away from being restrained. And now we'll roll initiative for the next round. So a 2 and a 6, so Art will win the initiative check there. And now Art is going to roll a standard action to check his strength. And he has rolled an 8, and that's going to be 9, 10, 11. Once again, let's see, I think 11 would be the target number. Yeah, 11 would be the target number, but he only rolled a 9 with his bonus, so he does not complete that. And now we'll roll a free action. And a 14. Okay, so Art has finally broken free. So he is going to be able to move now. And he can move up to 20 meters. So in this case, we're going to move 3, 6, 9, and 15. So Art has now moved 15 meters. And he is away from the warrior. And not a moment too soon, because the warrior will certainly kill him. But yeah, let's roll for initiative. Okay, a 5 and a 7. With the warrior's bonus, that's an 8, and with Art's bonus, that's a 10. So Art does go first, and he will make his standard attack here. That's 11, 16 with the dex bonus, which is not going to break the 18 of the warrior. So he rolls his quick fire, and once again, it's not enough. So now the warrior will move. Now he is hindered, so he can only move 5 meters. So that's going to be about right here. And we'll check initiative once again. So in this case, the warrior will go first. I think he can move to about right here. So he is just out of range. And Art is very lucky because he would almost certainly be dead. So now Art will try to move. So he's going to move 18 meters over to here. He will make his attack. So at 12, that's going to give us 17, which is not going to hit the warrior. Now we roll for the quickfire. Okay, now the quickfire, we have a 19, so that is going to hit. So let's roll d8, and we also have a +2 damage bonus on this. So 3. And so the warrior is now down to 23 HP. The warrior will now get to move to roughly about here, I believe, 5 meters. And I think Art does not want to take any chances, so he's going to go ahead and move. And 15, so he has now moved 15 meters over into this corner. He is going to attack. We do need to make the initiative check. Or no, did I make the initiative check? Honestly, I can't remember if I made the initiative check. So let's just do that now. Okay, so Aura did win the initiative check, so now he will make his attack. And a 5, that's not going to be good enough. And a 1, oh no, now that's going to cause him to get some Heavenly Wrath here. So he'll increase his Heavenly Wrath to 3. So very difficult for Aura to hit the knight here, even though he is able to run around circles around him. Okay, so he's going to move 3 and 5 meters. And I believe Aura will stay in his position. We'll roll for initiative. And Aura will win the initiative roll. Roll for attack. 15 with our bonus, that's a 20. So we do finally have a successful attack again, and we'll roll the d8 and a 2, so it's going to be 2 damage down to 21. And now Art will roll for his quick fire and a 3. Okay, so now the warrior will move. That's going to be about 5 meters right there. And once again, Art is going to move 3, 6, 9, 12. He'll move 12 meters, maintaining that distance so he doesn't die. And this time the warrior has won the initiative, so he will go ahead and go to about here. And now Art will roll for attack. And 8, that's too low. And an 18. Okay, so we will have a successful hit on our quickfire. And a 4, and that's going to be 6 damage. So the warrior will now be down to 15 HP. So we are slowly whittling him down. Okay, now we're going to roll for initiative once again. A 16 and 19, so Ari will win this initiative. And I think he's going to stay there. So let's roll for attack. 10, that's not going to be good enough. And 17, alright, so our quickfire will hit again. And we've rolled a 6, that's very good. Plus 2, that's going to be 8. So now our Ancient Warrior is now at 7 hit points. So the Ancient Warrior will now move to about right here. And Arit's not taking any chances, so he's getting ready to run away. But we'll roll initiative first. 11 and 12, and Arit will win that with his larger bonus. So he's going to move 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, and about 20 right there, we'll say. And we'll roll for attack. 14 with the bonus, that's 19, so that will hit the warrior with his DR of 18. 5, there's no damage bonus on the standard attack. So the warrior is now down to 2. Now when some enemies are at very low health, they will actually make, they will have morale checks and they will possibly run away. Beasts, for example, will always run away when they're below 25%. But this warrior is an undead, and he is not going to be afraid or convinced to run. He is going to fight until the end. Now he will move roughly about 5 meters. We're going to roll for initiative again. Okay, 12 and 11, so Art does win the initiative roll there. And a 14, that's going to give us 19, so we will be able to attack. And 5, the warrior has been defeated. He just suffered 5 damage, and he has an HP of 2. Arid has just managed to escape from the deathly grasp of this ancient warrior. Due to the fact that this is an elite enemy, Arid would receive 100 experience, so he is now going to have 400 essence. And we'll also get a chance to harvest from this enemy. So let's see what we can harvest. So because he is a medium-sized enemy, we can harvest from them twice. So we get 2 rolls on the undead component table. That's going to be 2 d10 rolls. And the first roll is a 7. And we have got some ghoul bile, glowing acidic bile from undead creatures. It can be sold for 10 marrow crystals. So let's add some ghoul bile here. And we'll also do our second roll, which is an 8. So first we'll put that we have some ghoul bile. And an 8 is going to be rotten blood. And it's potent blood containing fragments of undeath, and it can be sold for 20. Art has successfully harvested some ghoul bile and some rotten blood from the warrior, from the undead warrior. Now let's see if there is anything else that we can do here. After we defeat the warrior, we can find the Death Warding Amulet. This is a tarnished silver amulet that grants advantage on saving throws against necrotic effects. So that would have been very nice against the Deathly Grasp. So up here in our gear, we're going to put the Death Warding Amulet. Currently, Art does not have an amulet, so he might as well go ahead and wear that. And then we have also found the Gem of Last Gasps, a cracked obsidian gem that absorbs the life force from defeated foes, healing the bearer when activated. The character in possession of this gem heals 50% of the damage dealt with a fatal strike against an opponent. So that's very nice. I wonder if we have a gem slot. We do not. Maybe this could be considered a trinket. And that also reminds me that because of Art's living weapon having the devouring trait, we can roll a d10 here for some hit point recovery, and we have rolled a 1. So Art will now have 7 hit points. Maybe his living weapon is now feeling happy because we have received loot and defeated a foe. And I believe we also get, yes, we also get 100 Gero crystals, which is equal to 2,000 Miro crystals. Or sorry, that's equal to 1,000. So we now have 3,010 Miro crystals. And so all in all, a pretty scary fight there. But Art has managed to run circles around his enemy and just escape with his life, and we were able to collect some nice spoils of the battle here. That is going to complete this early look at the combat in Ruthless Heavens, Boundless Fate. I hope you've enjoyed this series, the overview, and also the gameplay and combat examples. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.